In this video, we're going to try to understand the relationship between the volume of a square pyramid and the volume of a square prism. We just saw in the video that if you fill up 3 square pyramids with water and pour it into the square prism, it will fill the prism completely. So the question I wrote is, what is the relationship between the volume of a square pyramid and a square prism that have the same base and height? So we have to keep in mind that, first of all, the height of each of these pyramids is the exact same height as the height of the prism. So the heights are equal. In addition, the base of each of these are all supposed to be identical square pyramids. The base of the pyramid is exactly the same as the base. Okay, that didn't turn out so well, but that's supposed to look like a square base. Those bases are also the same. So they have the same base and the same height. That has to be true for this relationship to hold true. So I want us to just think about what we saw in the video. In the video we saw that he filled up a square pyramid with water. And let's just say that we colored our water pink. And let's say that we pour that in over here pour in our water into the square prism. It's going to fill 1/3 of the way with that water. So 1/3 of this square prism will be filled. So this square pyramid represents 1/3 of the prism. So this piece right here I'm also going to label as 1/3. And then I'm going to transition to a new color. I'll use blue for this one. Let's say that I filled this square pyramid with blue water. So pretend like it's completely filled with blue water. I bring it over here and I pour it into this square prism, and another 1/3 is going to be filled in this prism. So another 1/3. So now we have 2/3 of this prism filled. So this square pyramid is 1/3 of that prism. And then we'll pick one more color. Let's see if green shows up well. We'll try green. And let's say that we filled this square pyramid with green water. Pretend like it's totally filled. I come over to the prism. I pour it in like you did in the video. And now it should be totally filled to the brim, because that square pyramid represents 1/3 of the prism. So if you think about it, if you take 1/3, let's use a color you can see a little bit better. If you take 1/3 of the prism plus 1/3 of a prism, each of these 1/3 is, I'm pulling it from each of these pyramids. And that will give us 3/3 of a prism, or you could say 1 whole prism. That's why it filled the entire prism. So I need you to understand the fact that if I take one of these prisms and I multiply it by a factor of 3, I'm going to get the volume of the prism. Alternatively, if I take this prism and I divide it by 3, then I will get the volume of the pyramid. So we have this relationship that's based on this factor of 3. If you multiply this tinier volume by 3, you get this larger volume. If you take this larger volume, you divide it by 3, you get this smaller volume. I have one more pictorial representation for you. And in this example, it shows, you see the square pyramid. If you fill it up with water and pour it in, the square pyramid represents 1/3 of the cube. So this is just another picture that shows what we talked about. And it even labels the fact that the heights are exactly the same. They use height a lowercase h. I would have preferred they used an uppercase, but that's okay. And then they also labeled that the bases were the same. So the base and the height have to be the same for this to hold true, for this relationship to hold true. So in summary, if you already know the formula for the volume of a prism is base area times height, you already know that formula is for a prism. All you have to do to derive the square pyramid formula is take the prism formula and divide it by 3, because the square pyramid is smaller than the prism, and dividing it by 3 will give you the volume. Dividing this volume by 3 will give you the volume of the square pyramid. So I hope that this makes a little bit more sense, this new formula that we have, so that you're able to apply it in the next couple of examples that I show you.